you everyone for joining this session. I know there's a lot of awesome talks on at the same time, so it's definitely hard to pick which one to join. We hope this morning you really enjoy it. We definitely want as much participation as possible in the chat, so keep your messages coming. It's just really great to meet you. And yeah, maybe if you want to move to the next slide, Joanne. So yeah, we'll start off with introductions. I am Chloe McAteer. I'm a senior software engineer at Hamilton Robson, and I was previously one of the city leads for Belfast Women Who Code community. And my Twitter handle and also if you want to catch up after the session, feel free to reach out.
Okay, so my name is Runjhun. I'm a master's student right now in India, and I'm also a lead at the data science track. So I've been doing Bytes and Brew for I think a year now, and I'm a big fan of this session because I have met so many people. I've attended, I've heard so many stories from people, and it gets every time so inspiring that I see many women taking charge in their careers, and we are here at this global conference, and I'm very excited how Bytes and Brew has scaled up to just from being confined to only a track, and now it's at this global level. So welcome everybody, thank you so much for joining, and we can start.
So Bytes and Brew is a relaxed space that is designed to give our community an opportunity for conversations and connections around your busy work-life schedules. So we originally started Bytes and Brew back in Belfast, and they were in-person events back then. I think it was at the start of 2019, where we used to meet in a cafe. Sorry, can't get my words out. We used to meet up in a cafe. We would talk about our jobs. We would talk about careers, goals, offer each other advice. And then during the pandemic, we decided to move online and have these as virtual fortnightly calls in the morning where we could get together and meet more people. This also allowed it to reach out to other tracks and other communities. So now there is also Bytes and Brew in the Women Who Code data science and blockchain and Python tracks. And I think we have a slide coming up next, and we've got two of the track leads here to be able to talk about some of the experiences that they've had in their own local communities. So I'm really excited to hear about that.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you for that. And of course, Bytes and Brew has been really amazing. Like Runjhun also said, that we got an opportunity to interact with so many of you and also got to learn about your stories, your experiences, and also got inspired by all of your achievements as well. So I think that Bytes and Brew really is very special to me. And it is, in fact, in Women Who Code, it started with Belfast. Then it came as a collaboration between the three tracks, data science, blockchain, and Python. And it's really amusing to see the community shining. Stephanie, would you like to say a few words too?
Yes, thank you so much, Anjali. So I think the Python track is just so excited to have been joining Bytes and Brew. And I know that our members have gotten just so much from the experience, getting to know others and other people from other tracks, and getting to just expand our communities and spend a lot of time together and discuss some very important and interesting topics.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much, Anjali. So these are the pictures from our past events. And as you can see, we are all so happy. And these happy faces are the proof that we had enjoyed every session that we had right till now. But we can always, we'll be looking forward to meet you all. And we will be inviting you as well. So stay tuned for that. Chloe, would you like to okay, we can start off with warm-up session. Okay, all right. So just get on with your fingertips ready so that you can write your answers in the chat. What we're going to do is, so since this is an interactive session and we need you guys to participate in it, so we are going to ask you a few questions, and please reply your answers in the chat. So let's go. We are ready, right? Can I have a yes in the chat?
Don't be afraid to use as many emojis as you like. We love to see them.
Yeah. All right. So everybody's
Wow.
excited. Cool then. All right. So our first question is, do you prefer working from home or working in the office? So this is something that we all have been, okay, we have these answers, working from home, okay, office, home, office. Oh my God. Everybody is rooting for home, working from home. Great. This is so great. Okay. Yeah, you can choose both, Deborah.
I think I would choose both as
Yeah.
well. Mix.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. I think working from home wins because who doesn't want to lie down and work, right?
I think there's a lot more homes in there than offices in the chat. So
Yeah.
for our next one then, do you prefer learning through blogs or learning through video content? For me, it's quite hard. I think I would be a mix of both, but if I had to pick, I don't know, maybe videos.
For me, I think, video content is something that I would recommend because it gets on very quickly and you just remember the things. Okay, we have Sapphire as well in the chat. So she's rooting for blogs. We have people who are more biased toward video content. That's so great.
A very big mix here, it really is.
Okay, that's so great. All right, let's go on to our next question. So, would you rather email or phone calls? What do you guys do?
I think I'm a big emailer. It's really scary on a phone call. I think you don't know someone's tone, but an email you can draft it.
Okay, so somebody is allergic to phone. That's
I know it's quicker. Sometimes we go through 40 emails in a chain, and maybe a phone call would be quicker, but I'm a sucker for just putting it all in an email.
Okay, so I think email wins because everybody's writing emails and people are just not very fond of phones. I don't.
We've got a few phone fears in there.
Yeah. All right. Our next question, Chloe.
So would you rather give up search engines or social media applications? And I think this one's really hard.
Yeah. That's so hard. Okay, social media.
Oh wow, everyone's given up social media. I was thinking if we give up search engines, we could search through social media. Search for blogs on Twitter, search for restaurant menus on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a good way to handle the situation.
Maybe the best of both worlds, but yeah, I don't know if I could go up without a search engine in my day today.
Yeah, so exactly, Benoist. Most search engines are very useful, right? So we can't just drop them. Okay, so that's cool, Raven. We can make a search engine through social media app. Yeah, that's what Chloe was, I think, talking about.
Yeah.
Googling is part of the job. So we have heard it. Googling is part of the job, I think. That's the line for the session.
Googling is definitely a skill.
All right. So I think social media would be the winner. People would be dropping social media.
It looks like it.
Yeah. So our next question is, would you rather have a rewind button or a forward button on your life? Oh, cool. Rewind and forward. Okay, a mix of the answers we're getting. What about you, Chloe?
Stand still and keep going as it is. We've got a pause in there as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we have forward, rewind. Okay, forward. Oh, Stephanie, you're winning. Pause is the great idea.
Stop still for a few minutes, I think would be good for us all.
Yeah. Cool. So I think pause option is winning right now with Stephanie because people are loving pausing option.
Yeah.
Awesome. Chloe.
So would you rather be in your pajamas all day or a suit all day?
A tough one.
Do you love getting dressed up and feeling fancy, but pajamas are just so comfy?
Yeah, right? Pajamas are I think pajamas are winning. Okay, so Pajamas, no question. I agree with you, Jennifer.
I don't see very many suits at all. I think it's all pajamas.
PJs winning. That's so cool. So
That's
Sarah,
true.
I think pajamas are my suit. That's so awesome. That's why we all love working from home, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So our next question is: would you rather work more hours a day but have longer weekends, or work few hours a day with more work days? What do you guys think? I think that's a difficult one to answer.
But a long weekend is always good. I think a lot of people are a fan of the long weekends.
Longer weekends, yay!
Yeah.
Cool. Longer weekends. No compromise with the weekend plans. That's true, Ravalika. More hours, longer weekends. I think that's winning, right? Nobody would say more work days.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone want more work.
Yeah. Oh, we have Martha with fewer hours. So, okay, we have somebody from the other side as well.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that was great. Thank you so much. This was so cool. All right. So, our next session, Chloe, do you want to introduce our next session to the audience?
Yeah, so that was great as a warm up. Thank you so much for everyone for participating. I love seeing these reactions come in. This section isn't as much as quick answers or quick answers. It's more so kind of longer stories about yourselves. We just really want to know you as a community, and hopefully we'll be able to provide some answers as well for the questions for ourselves. So these will be kind of more detailed statements, and I think we can have people join the stage at this point if someone has a longer story that they would like to share with the group. But if not, if you're just more comfortable having it as an answer in the chat, we can read some of them out as well. So we'll start off with our first sharing is caring. So what has been some of the main lifestyle changes you've noticed moving from online to back in person? So whether that be just back in person generally as a hybrid mode, or if you're back full time in the office. I definitely think myself, like my lifestyle has changed so much over the past few years of going fully remote and working at home, and now moving on to being in the office full time again. It really is such a difference. Has anyone got any stories they would like to share with us about some of the main changes they've seen? Oh, still a lot of people still looking fully online. Let's go.
I think we have a few people. Evie, if you are available, we can invite you to our to share your video and share your experience with you, because your kids are telling you don't really work, right? Okay, so if anybody is there who would like to share their story, we would love to have you on board. Cool, come on up.
Yeah.
Cool, Evie. You can ask for a request to share your video, Evie. If I'm pronouncing your name right, I'm so sorry.
I think there should be a button at your top right hand corner that says request to share. Okay, producer, obviously less stress being remote, going back in the office and bombarded with people coming in and talking and asking questions. I think we all kind of get that when you're at your desk. There's a lot of people around you, and sometimes being at home, you can just kind of zone yourself out and have that time for yourself to be able to focus and be more productive.
Right. So Amanda is writing, I feel less stressed being remote. Going back in the office, I'm bombarded with people coming in and asking questions. I feel more productive at home. Oh, that's true, Amanda. So we have Evie with us.
Hi,
everybody.
Hi.
Sorry, it started going through some sort of check, and I had to close it out. So my office, I was working for a telemarketing company, and they took all of our offices away to make the floor space bigger, and so they moved us home. And I was working, you know, and the kids, they would be, Mom, can you take me X place? Can you, I mean, they were always asking for something. And I'm like, I'm working, you know, if it's between 8 and, 4, I'm working. And they totally just disregarded that because I was home. They were just always, and these were teenagers. It's not like they were 5. So it was a constant struggle to not be interrupted because, studies show if you're interrupted, it takes 15 minutes to get back to what you were doing. And I didn't have an office at home. So I was in the living room. There was no way for me to hide from my kids because I didn't plan, to work at home. And that was pretty much the way it was.
Once we moved to working from home, it's not having the setup or not having the space to be able to properly have that kind of work environment separated from home.
Yeah, I'm having to read I couldn't, my connection's bad, I guess. So I don't know what you said.
I think your voice was echoing, Chloe. So can you repeat what you said?
Oh, sorry. Maybe it could be my connection that's breaking up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yes, perfect. So I was just saying, I think a lot of people might share that same initial issue whenever we moved to working from home is just not having an adequate setup and not having that space at home that you can have your setup and work. Oh no, people are having trouble hearing me. Maybe it's my connection. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had the closed captioning on, so I'm able to read what. Yeah, it's getting it's printing out what you're saying just fine. So if I had the CC.
Yep, we can hear you, but a bit your voice was quite breaking, but yeah, the captions are helping. Thanks, Evie. And that's true. When we were me and my brother are both college students, so we were fighting, okay, which room we would take to have our classes on, because we have to have a good background, we have to have a good lighting on us. So this is something we all, yeah, exactly, look at us. So this is how our fights got changed to something like that. We never expected that would happen.
Yeah, on Zoom I have a Captain America background, so you usually don't see. I'm going to go ahead and log off. Thank you for having me up, and thanks for
so much. Thank you so
much. If I could figure out how to leave.
Thank you, Evie. Yeah, we could move on to the next slide then. And again, feel free to drop your stories in the chat. And if anyone does want to come on and share their story for the next slide, definitely let us know.
Okay, so our next question is, how do you get started in your career? So we would like to hear your stories about how did you get started in your career. For me, I think I always loved, computer science, and it really, I was a person who loves logic and making, logic out of everything. So this is how I got into computer science, and I loved how technical it is, and it is not that theoretical that I have to read or learn everything, and I can just do some coding and I can see that result going on in my screen. So that is how I started in computer science. All right, so we have a story from you as well. That's cool. Amanda started in 1999, right out of college. Okay, cool. That's cool. So we have so many people. If you guys are able to share your stories like Evie did, you can request us and we will get you on board, and you can share your stories with everybody. If you feel like, you can come up again. That's we can give people another chance. And if there's nobody, then you are most welcome to share your story.
Yeah, and has anybody else maybe even moved from one career into technology? Like, how did you got started and where you are now? So definitely interested in hearing if there's anyone who has switched between roles or switched completely different domains into technology. For me, I kind of went the standard route. I loved ICT and computing when I was in high school, and I did software engineering in uni, and have been loving it ever since.
So I think Prachi have something to say to us. Prachi, can you request, because we can't get you on board if you can't, if you didn't, if you don't have a request. Um,
I love that when people are sharing their stories in the chat. It really is great to see and everyone be able to share with each other. It's really
Hello.
important to get to know each
Hi
other.
Prachi, welcome on board. Please share your story. We would love to hear it.
Okay. So I am a game developer and I started my career from game development only. Since my childhood, I was a kid who just used to sit in front of TV and play lots of games. And people used to ask me, what do you get from playing the games? Now I can proudly tell I make the games you play. So today I'm having 9 years of experience in playing game development, and I work on mobile games, I work on Windows games, I work on web-based games. So basically, I started with game development only, and now I am doing the remaining needed full stack work as well.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story and coming up to join us as part of the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prachi. We can have one more person if there's anybody available to share their story.
Yeah.
I love all the messages in the chat. It's so great that everyone is being so open and sharing. I just love hearing these stories from everyone's different backgrounds and how you have got to where you are today. It's really inspiring.
All right. If there's anybody, we can get them on board. The next question. Can we move on to our next question then?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay.
So is anyone doing any courses at the minute that they would recommend? It would be really great for everyone to share these resources. So whether it be an online course, if it's a blog, maybe even it's a book that you're reading that is helping you with your career or your job at the minute and that you would love to share with other people. I know recently I've been doing a solution or the AWS Developer Associate course on Cloud Academy, and it's been really, really incredible. So I would definitely recommend it. But it would be great to see a list of resources being built up in the chat just to help everyone out, and hopefully we can all pick our next course from this chat. Wow, loads of suggestions coming through. That's great. Local WWCode meetups, I love to see that. I've learned so many things from local WWCode meetups, and even today there's so many fabulous talks on, so you will definitely leave learning something incredible. Free Code Camp again is incredible. Code Academy as well. I've used both of those two. Great suggestions. Keep them coming through. Elements of AI. You see, View Mastery. Wow, these are great. And just make sure if there's anything in here on topics that you like, make sure you're noting them down. It's really great to get courses that are recommended by other people that people have tried and tested.
We're getting so many great recommendations. I think we are getting from for every domain we are getting recommendations, and it would be really helpful if you have links, you can put them in the chat and help out each other. So I think I would recommend edX because it's free and you have professors from Ivy League colleges. So that's great to learn from them. And even if you're not a part of these colleges, they make you feel inclusive. And I really enjoyed a course CS50 from Harvard. So that's what I was when I started as a beginner. It was a great way to start, and they all have their problem sets, and you have to you can send them over, and they also get checked. So that is something nice, and I would really recommend if anybody is looking for beginner course friendly courses that are for beginners only. I think we have a winner for CS50. Oh, great, Charlotte! You are going to CS50. Oh my God, that's so cool! I would love to have those pictures from your sessions. I'm a big fan of CS50.
Wow, it's incredible. Everyone's sharing links now as well. It's so useful to share what you're learning and let people know what resources are out there. There are so many amazing resources, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming whenever you're starting a new topic to know where exactly to look. There's resources everywhere, there's blogs, there's videos, and it can be quite hard to narrow that down. So providing these links and providing your recommendations today, it's really helpful for other people. And I know there's a lot of things in here that I'm going to look up after this call that will be really useful for me as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have many recommendations, and I would love to read them afterwards, but we can move on to our next question then. Until then. All right, so salary negotiation, a very important topic for all of us, I think. Salary negotiation, any success stories from the group, we would love to hear it. Because I think salary negotiation is very important, and we don't, hear it quite often because there's nobody to talk about it, firstly. And if there's anybody, um, they have not there are very few stories, I would say, success stories, because you have to be really good at negotiating for your rights and for your salary. So I'm not a person who would um, say, okay, I don't want that salary. I am very bad at negotiating, so I would love to hear your stories. Yeah. Me too, Rachel. I'm all ears right now.
I'm definitely really bad at this as well. It can just get really scary, and sometimes it's just hard to know like what you should ask for, what other benefits even around base salary you can ask for. And it can just be a very daunting conversation to have. So any advice anybody has and anything that's worked for you, definitely let us know. I think most of us would be very interested in hearing your stories for this one. And of course, if anyone wants to join the stage, you are welcome to come up and join us.
So we have
a volunteer. Is it Madison?
Oh, so we have Angela with us. Okay, so I think she joined. If you're joining, Angela, no, we can't see you. I have accepted your request, but can you request to join again? Wow, you received a 25% raise. That's so cool.
Wow, Evie, you must be a really great negotiator. That's incredible.
Still can't. We don't have your request, Angela. We are so sorry about this technical issue. We have Madison and Shanice, so I can invite Madison over. I don't know why I can't. Chloe, can you accept these requests for me?
See, I tried adding, but then it disappeared. Oh, here
you go.
Hello.
Hello, Madison.
Yeah, happy, what day is it? Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Happy Thursday. I'm dying to hear your success story.
Oh my goodness. So with every success story comes 1,000 no success stories. So my first job out of college, I worked for pennies. And that was the job that I worked 70 hours a week. And it was just really rough trying to like scrape by to where like I couldn't even like buy milk. It was just like super tiny. So with every job, I promised myself I would ask for a little bit more. ask for a little bit more. Or I would specifically ask, hey, if I take this role in writing, I expect a raise in X months. So it gave us like a contract. My last role was a sales role with commission, and I tried to negotiate and it didn't work well at all. I was very emotional. I was like trying to like prove I was worthy of being paid X amount or just as much as some of my coworkers. And I ended up reading a book called Know Your Value. I'll post it in the chat. And it was really helpful to learn how to ask for more money without being offended if someone says no. Like it took this like all or nothing mentality out of my head of like, oh my goodness, as a woman, I need to like speak up. I need to be paid this worth. And instead it started being like, no, I'm totally worth asking for this. I just need to learn baby steps how to practice asking for it. And so that book really helped me figure out like what to say, what not to say, which is, it's kind of like a double standard, but it gave me more tools in my tool belt on how to ask. So with my current job, I asked for a certain amount, and my boss, who is a woman, was like, hey, that's not enough. You need to be asking for X amount. So after like all these not so great stories of like asking for this little amount and saying, no, 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 I finally met a boss who was like, no, I want to advocate for you. This is not enough. Ask for more. And then start negotiation. And it worked. Like I've been paid more than I've ever made in my life. And it's great because like I'm doing an awesome job, but it also started with like believing in myself first and then finding other people who are like, no, you're totally worth being paid more. And that's okay. That's not selfish. It's just a bonus. So yeah.
Awesome. That was really great advice. And I think that is true that, you know, we generally don't speak up, and that's where that's why we are, you know, have been, as women, we have been paid less because we haven't, you know, negotiated for our salaries, for our worth that is waiting for us. Thank you so much, Madison. It was truly inspiring to hear you today. We have Angela with us. Angela, would you like to share your story? Yeah, we can hear you.
Madison, thanks for that. That was really inspiring. A bit about my background. So I'm a mom of 4 kids. I started out in education, and then I moved into teacher training and continuing professional development. And I worked at a further education college in the UK for many years, leading a team on many campuses. Then I moved into government, Sector Skills Council, and I led on the National Occupational Standards for teachers, tutors, and trainers in post-secondary education. So that was a bit of kind of policy, but also national occupational standards. And then I discovered massive open online courses in 2008, and I started taking those, you know, when I was having babies and doing a bit of consulting work. And I think I've done over kind of 55 now. And that was key ultimately for me kind of transitioning where I wanted to work. And moving into computer science. So fast forward a few years, and when I came back to England this past time from our last posting in Bulgaria, I applied at university. And although I didn't have university experience other than teaching on a pre-sessional English like module back in 1999, I felt like I had a lot to offer our computer science students, especially with my background in working with refugees and asylum seekers and people with like low socioeconomic status. And I brought to that computer science department a whole different kind of perspective, because a lot, you know, they were mostly men, there were, you know, a few minority groups. But basically my line manager was female. And they'd offered me the role, and she messaged me in WhatsApp and said, what would you expect your salary? What would you expect for salary? And honestly, I'd never been asked that before. Basically, my whole life in all my jobs, look at my LinkedIn, I've done a lot of different jobs in a lot of different places. I've never been asked what I thought I should make, like where I thought I should be on the pay scale. I've always been offered a salary, and I've always taken a salary. I've never in my whole life said, actually, can I have a bit more? Or is that the final offer? Or
I had never, ever have done that before. So when she said on WhatsApp, what would you expect? And I said, what's the pay scale? Can you let me know the grades that the university has? And she forwarded it to me. And because I'd never been a lecturer before, there was the lecturer scale, then there was the senior lecturer scale. And because I'd done research, I worked on the Stanford Crowd Research Collective for 2.5 years, and we published some collaborative papers. I had nothing published under my own name. So in some ways, I felt a bit like I couldn't ask for the senior lecturer role. I kind of diminished in my head my own contribution. And I thought, forget it. I have a lot to bring to this computer science department. I'm going to reply and say I would expect to be in the top 1 or 2 of the senior lecturer pay scale. Like, not, can I be a senior lecturer maybe? Or, you know, I just thought, I'll put it out there. I said, you know, my previous salary, which I probably shouldn't have done, but it was a good previous salary. So I thought, well, that will actually boost me to the senior lecturer pay scale. And I just thought, I'll put it out there. Top 1 or 2 of the top scale. And she replied and said, ooh, I'll have to talk to like management about that. And it took, I can't remember, maybe a day. And she said, yep, you're at the top of the pay scale, the top one. And I just about had a heart attack. And I thought, why not? Why not be bold? Why not be brave? Why not value your worth and see kind of what you bring to the table that maybe somebody else doesn't have? And so I just want to say to everyone, be bold, be brave, like ask, you know, what's the worst they're going to say? No, we're not going to give you a job. Like, no, they're just going to say, oh, how about this other amount? And you'll say, oh, well, how about this other amount? And this kind of whole negotiation thing is worth trying. Why not? Anyway, that's my story.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that has inspired everybody in our chat. It is incredible. And sometimes you do put those own doubts in yourself and your own mind, and you can ask for that lower, but you just need to have that confidence and know your worth and be able to be strong to stand up for yourself. So it's really incredible hearing that story of your successes, being able to do that. And hopefully we can bring that confidence with us for our next negotiations, everyone.
Yeah, and also it's been very good because in my team in the past 3 years, you know, we've gone through the pandemic teaching with our students. And in that course of time, they've made me the course director for our Masters in Data Intelligence, which is our brand new Masters. And so this past year, I've been the course director for that. So if you have any prospective students, send them my way. If you know of any industry who would like some placements for our Masters in Data Intelligence students. We had one female on it, and sadly she decided to move to industry instead of education, but we would love, you know, some female applicants, and just, yeah, anyway, that's a little plug, I suppose, to get people into education.
Angela, I have a question. So like for me, the hardest thing of like getting into the industry was I didn't have adequate tech skills, right? So did you ever like have to deal with the doubt of like, I want to ask for this amount of money, but I don't have this piece of paper or this skill or whatever?
Well, I suppose I would have that fear, and then I would find where I could get that piece of paper and certificate. So I love Coursera, edX, FutureLearn. FutureLearn's a UK one run by the Open University. Well, like it's kind of branched off from that. I applied for scholarships through like Udacity and I think if you feel like you're missing out on a skill, just like enroll on one of those MOOCs and go for it. And then you will have the skill. Or if you don't have the skill yet, then you say, I'm currently taking this like module on data science and, you know, or ethical AI or whatever you're taking the module on. And then they see, well, you're proactively developing your own skills. So you are an interesting person and we would like to hire you, you know? So I would just say lifelong learning all the way.
That's amazing, because like, I know I love working with other people who are like humble and teachable. And I was able to find a boss in a role that I was like, look, I don't have this piece of paper, I don't have this skill, but I do have these street smarts, and this is how I treat people. Good, bad, and the ugly. And I think that speaks to like the character that I was drawn to and the character that my company was looking for.
I think another key thing in all of this is no matter what, like you'll always come across bad management who isn't as supportive, perhaps as like Madison's line manager. But ultimately, if you stay true to yourself, you act with integrity, you do the best that you can, and you document it for yourself, you'll find a pathway through whatever. It could be that you leave that situation, or it could be that line managers, sees your good work and your value, and other people in the organization see you, and that will bring other opportunities. So that's my bit of advice there.
Incredible. Thank you both so much for sharing. We're now into our last 5 minutes of the session, unfortunately. I think it's went so fast. So we do have another fun game of Never Have I Ever to play. I'm going to have to drop off because I'm moderating the next session, but Runjhun is going to take you through it, and I hope you have so much fun. You have been such an incredible audience, and I love all your responses in the chat. So if you do want to have any other questions or chat, feel free to reach out to me at any time. But yes, Runjhun, you can take it away with Never Have I Ever.
Thank you so much, Chloe. It was lovely having you, and all the best for your moderation for the next event. We will see you there as well.
Yes, see you soon. Bye.
Bye, Chloe. All right, let's bring on our fastest finger first back. So we have a game called Never Have I Ever. So you have to reply with an emoji in the chat if you have done with that, if you're done that situation, or you've been there and you're guilty of doing it. So let's start. All right. So never have I ever contributed to an open source project on GitHub. All right. So you can reply with any emoji. Okay. Amy has done that. Cool. Medal. Samriddhi. That's cool. Stefana. Oh, not yet, Rachel, but we'll soon. So we have Prachi as well. We have so many people have contributed to open source. That's so cool. And I would love to hear your stories in the chat as well. So we can move on to our next question. Now, okay, this is a fun one. And please be honest, never have I ever lied about the camera not working in a meeting just because I was not looking good. So if there's anybody guilty, please go ahead. Okay, we have everybody. Okay. So, oh, Angela, you haven't done that? Okay. Never. Okay, Nicole, haven't done that yet. Okay, Madison, never. Okay, if you haven't brushed your hair, then you have lied about camera not working. That's cool. Okay, so we have a few people who are guilty, and people have never done that. That's amazing, actually. All right, so our next question is, never have I ever worked on a project alone. So this is a difficult one because working on a project alone is quite a task. And we have a few people. Oh, Maria is doing it right now. That's so cool. Molly's, okay, Evie, you did it for 11 years. Kudos to you because it's very difficult to work on a project alone and keep up that pace. Okay, so we have so many people doing projects alone. Oh my God, am I the only one looking for a project partner all the time? All right, so I think we can move on to our next question. Never have I ever scrolled through social media while in a meeting. All right, we have few people guilty. We have so many people replying right now. Who doesn't do that, right? So we have many people replying in the chat. They have scrolled through social media. So Evie, if you missed it, never have I ever scrolled through social media while in a meeting. You've played games, yeah, you can. With camera on, oh my God, Amy, we would love to hear your story in the chat. How does that go? Okay, so we have our next question. Never have I ever skipped a presentation slide because the slide was complicated. Let's see who is guilty of this. Okay, so we don't have anybody doing that, really. Okay, we have Carla, we have Marilyn. Yeah, it does. If the slide doesn't have image. Yeah, right, Prachi. That's a good one, Angela, because so you don't skip, right? Cool. Going on to our next question. So never have I ever froze during an interview. That is so me, because I get cold when I'm in an interview or in a stress kind of a situation. Yeah, exactly. So we have many people who have been guilty of this. Okay, so Amy, Amy's writing, the nervous laughter haunts my dreams. That's so cool. That's true. Okay, so we have another question is, never have I ever watched TV while working from home. Okay, we have a few people who have done that. Okay, never. Angela. We have Amy. All right. Carla also watched TV. Cool. That's so cool. Well, you should not, but we can't help. Working from home. That's the way to do it, right? So we have yeah, YouTube counts. Anything on TV, basically. All right, thank you, Elizabeth. It's for fun. We are also ending the session. This is our last question, I assume. Never have I ever agreed to volunteer for work, even though I had a busy schedule. So this is for people who can't say no, like me. So can we have people who have done this? Yeah, right. Saying no is very so it's very difficult to do that. So Prachi, Margaret, yeah, right, Margaret. I just did that, Charlotte. So we have many people who are like me, who can't say no and just get on with more and more work, even though how much I'm busy I am. Yeah, exactly. So we are counting on this one, like setting boundaries should be a topic for the next talk. And we have another question as, never ever taken a nap while working from home. So is there anybody who's guilty of that? Maybe during lunch, yeah. Right, easy. Thank you, Erin. Thank you so much for attending today. We are also ending in a few minutes, and that is it from me and Chloe. Chloe had to leave early because she's moderating another session just after this. So thank you, everybody. We would like to connect with you all through LinkedIn, and I hope you all enjoyed this networking session with us. This is my LinkedIn ID. I would love to connect with you all through LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.